Welcome back to another episode of Debunking Darwinism, where we talk about all things involving creation and debunking evolutionary theory. I'm your host, Braden Harris. Today we're going to be talking about the top 3 pieces debunking evolution. We've all heard it. The world exploded into existence, and the entire world evolved over billions of years. Sounds crazy, right? That's because it is. The odds are incomprehensible, with odds 1 to 10 to the 123rd power. That's an immensely huge number. The small scraps of evidence that evolutionists have are nothing compared to the mountains upon mountains of evidence that creationists have for a creator-based universe. Today I'm going to present you with 3 pieces of evidence that support creation and debunk evolution. So let's get started. Number 3, marine animals found in the Himalayas. The Himalayas are the highest point on Earth, reaching almost 30,000 feet above sea level. That's almost 6 miles high. The weather is unbearably cold, the landscape is devoid of life, and you wouldn't expect hardly anything to live there, right? Well, then how did the marine animals get to the top of the Himalayas? That's right, there are marine animals fossilized in the top of the Himalayas. Now, there have been fish, plants, and even an entire whale found there. But how did they get there? Evolutionists, how could marine animals be found at the top of mountains? Well, in Genesis, the first book of the Bible, God covered the entire earth in a flood, reaching even to the highest mountains. And when water from the heavens dumped down, sediment was stirred up, and fish were fossilized almost instantly, covering them even on the highest points on earth. So, when you get all those animals fossilized on top of the mountains, that's what you get, fossilized fish in the highest point on Earth. The ocean is a salty place, no doubt about it. I live in Florida, and believe me, I've tasted the water enough to know it's pretty salty. Over 120 million tons of salt in just 1 cubic mile of the ocean. Just imagine how much there is in 332,500 million miles of it. Well, if evolution takes billions of years, then there should be 70 times as much salt as there is in the ocean. Just think about that. That's some salty water. With over 120 million tons of salt in just 1 cubic mile, with over 332,500 million cubic miles, 70 times that's the amount of salt there should be. Evolutionary theory is true, but hey, it's not. The most famous claim of evidence for evolution shares a name with the 1950s sitcom character. I guess that's why it's so well remembered. Lucy is known to be a walking upright in-between period of human and ape. Well, some recently found evidence shows that not a single bone of the 86 bones found of Lucy correlate with anything similar to what a human has. The toes were curved inward, designed for climbing, like God intended it to be, and not walking. This would mean that the fossilized footprints were indeed not hers, debunking that myth. I guess Lucy was becoming more human, she was becoming more extinct. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Debunking Darwinism. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the top 3 pieces of evidence supporting creation and debunking evolution. If you enjoyed today's content and would like to see more of it, subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified whenever we come out with a new video, and you can be instantly notified. If you enjoyed today's content or would like to put some information down below of like how you can debunk Darwinism, put it down in the comments. I'd like to see what you guys have to say. Until then, I'm Braden Harris with Debunking Darwinism.